when we're gonna get those tasks done. But we have our priorities set. I mean, we know the city's needs, we know what we need to address first, and that's what we're gonna come in and address.
And look, I'm putting my faith in you this time. I know that a lot of people come in and time after time, which I think we give them way more than what we receive back in return. But I think that you have seen and that you understand the direction in which you're trying to go in and coming up with a plan to move our city better and forward. And so, I thank you for going through hell with us and back to come to this agreement. And so I move that we approve, USW, contract.
Second. It's been properly moved and second that council approve USW's contract. You've heard the motion, ready for the questions?
I have one, Raymond.
Go ahead.
Inside of, can we, the only thing, like, again, I like the contract, can we add, USW, providing an update, on the 6th month, on kind of where we're at?
But he said that he could.
No, he's gonna give, again, I got that, but I'm saying in the contract, that we just add that they give, kind of, it could be annually, we can ask for.
Well,
I think that's so this is amending the underlying contract from January,
Correct.
and that's in the underlying contract from
Correct.
January.
We'll provide operations report monthly, a public works report monthly.
Yeah, so there's still a thicker document that this goes with.
Any other unreadiness? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed have the same right? Motion passed. Item 13, discuss and take action to approve ordinance amending budget to fund amendment for USW contract.
I move that we approve ordinance amending budget to fund amendment USW contract.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded that council approve the ordinance amending the budget to fund the amendment for USW contract. You've heard the motion, ready for the questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 14, discuss and take action on resurfacing of the driveway by City Hall. Councilman Rowland.
I think before council, there was this is an agenda item that came before you. I think the citizen had brought this up during citizens' comments in reference to a request of information. The document that you should have received before you talked about, that was brought to the attention of the citizens was talk about resurfacing the driveway at City Hall. Was there a cost approved to resurface and what line item, and who resurfaced the parking lot at City Hall?
This is a request for public information. Council, we check with you on this and other public information requests. When we don't have a document,
When we don't have a document, then they put it on the agenda for council to discuss to see if anybody knows the answer to it.
Okay.
It's the council now asking.
gotcha. Well, I'm receiving a public information request, that's what I'm asking.
The public
That's what I was
information
getting.
request, there had been one,
Okay,
and Ms. Bynum said that there are no documents, because the
Right.
public information request isn't to answer a question, it's to say, is there a document in possession of the city?
right. We
So that's-
checked, I had Ms. Bynum check, and we saw nothing regarding this.
So the reason why I have this on the agenda
Mm-hmm.
is because I wanted to know, and it was brought up at our several meetings, was there a work order for the city to be in the front to be resurfaced or repaved, and was there a cost associated with that? And so you're saying there's no document, so I'm saying,
So there
was
can't
money
be a work
spent?
order, because if there's no
Again,
documents, that's a work
I
order.
have to ask you specific questions, and so, was there cost associated that the city of Prairie View paid for that? And that's either yes or no.
No, it's not, because you fall right back to the document. If there are costs, that's a paper trail, and there will be documents. There are no documents, so there are no costs
Okay,
associated.
so since the answer is no, but on both of them, and you're on record, how did the paving occur?
I'm not even sure I was in
Because we didn't
town.
do a MOU, what
Right.
you mean you was in town, so who did it?
I spoke with our public works guys, and they weren't clear who actually came in one day, rolled up and
So the two
had a
ferry,
parking lot.
the paved ferry came in and did it.
Yep, confirm that with Mr. Glover.
What do you mean, aren't you the mayor, you run the city and you don't know who paved the front
Well,
of
you're a
our
councilman
building?
and you don't know anything, so come on.
I'm
Get
saying,
off of
look,
that.
you're saying you handle the day-to-day, right? You're saying they brought in trucks and they paved the city.
You're saying they brought in trucks. I said, I don't even think I was here that day.
Attorney,
What?
where do we stand and
He's asking information and I'm answering it.
where do we go with, like, I'm pretty, like, isn't that a gift?
Yeah, if you know who gave it, it is a gift.
I do know who gave it, and they tell people who gave it. So I'm not understanding what's the deal, Mr. Mayor. Hey,
Then he should be asking you if you know.
we are happy. I mean, you know too, but we are happy that they took the time out as they did when Dr. Brown went over to ask them to pave the streets. They happily did that. But what are some things that we need to do to even if it's to say, hey, thank you, invite them to a meeting, give them.
Who are you talking to?
So we can't, we're trying, we're saying, no one can come, this is the problem. We should, MOU should have been, if someone was gifting the city the cost to pave the street, we are still liable if someone walks outside, trips because they did not pave it correctly, there's a standard. My only issue is not with who did it, my issue is that we have the documentation to the standard in which it should have been done. That's my question to the mayor. And the mayor said that the pay ferry did it. And so my issue is we haven't signed an MOU that says, hey, we give any company XYZ who did it out the kindness of their heart. We should have an MOU on file that says this company did this and they did it to our thank you. That's not here. So, Mr. Mayor, where are the documents? If we all know that who did it, did Panther Hill do it?
Yes, Mr. Dogan took it out of his mouth to pay.
They
And
paid
Mr.
for
Dogan
it.
is not Panther Hill.
Okay, I don't know.
He's
Okay.
the owner or
No, he's
developer.
not the owner.
All
That's
right, so
incorrect.
What is he for
What are
paying?
you talking?
He's a construction person.
Okay, so.
Can
The
I
same
speak?
reason
Can I
you
speak?
talk.
Can I
The
speak?
same reason you talk. He called my name.
I didn't call your name.
He called my name,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you for answering.
Did I
Okay.
call her name?
No, he called my name.
Point of order, Mr. Lynn.
Councilman Jones has the floor, please.
Alright, so, Councilman Roy, I don't think it's, I think all our questions have to be directed towards our attorney, because there's no
On the
documentation.
wrong line.
And the more questions you ask, the more we just gonna continue going circles, because I think it's only right that we ask how we move forward, so that way we can find a solution, rather than.
I agree. Can we, before we go,
Councilman,
we
what do you
have,
say?
If you look at this and the next item on the agenda,
Mhm.
I think one of the things that you probably want to do is adopt a policy regarding accepting donations for the city. If you have someone else coming onto your property to pave something, what if they get hurt while they're doing it? Whose workers' comp does, that sort of thing. How is it covered? Your home rules, so you can accept donations. Like general law cities can only accept it for Parks and Rec, but you guys can accept donations. But you need a policy on how to do it. Where do you put it in your budget? Do you accept the money donation? Do you accept the work donation? How do you, from volunteers to major expenditures, you need something on the books so that you do it right.
in reference to that. So we're right now saying that people can just go on our city streets, cause this is the second time and it's the same company, same people.
No, it's more than two.
It's probably more, but the issue is for the health and safety of the citizens of Prairie View. They can just go on this street tonight. Now, mind you, we do need some of the help for the roads. But they can go and fill it with whatever they want to fill it with. Say they fixed it for that day. And that's okay. We're saying that's okay, or outside of the gift policy, it is not illegal for you to go fix a government street.
You don't have an order.
You don't have the authority to do it. It wouldn't be a criminal act more than likely. It would probably be a civil action the city would need to take against somebody. If somebody's donating, you probably wouldn't want to do that. But, if Jimmy Hoffa's underneath the parking lot, you might. It's just, I don't know, I don't know the circumstances of any of this that you're talking about specifically. I'm hearing you say this parking lot is what I'm hearing. But I don't know the extent of it. I don't know if it was patches, potholes, if it was, $2,000 or $200,000. I don't know the extent of what you're talking about.
So if the amount, if there's an amount that they've, since this has been several projects and they've exceeded over $10,000 plus of paving, we're saying that, we're simply saying, yes, cool, that was okay, but we have a process on how we do that. You're saying the gift process, the policy is the only way, but is there a way where, again, before we even can do that, wouldn't the city, just like we enter into a interlocal agreement or MOU with the entity, just like we do with the county who would fix roads or would come on the property? I'm just trying to get what you're, just trying to get clarity around whether it's just okay, again, if someone gets hurt outside the city, right now, we're liable because we are the city, but we don't also know if they did the parking lot to the standards in which we say that all the other businesses have to have the standards in the city of Prairie View.
Yeah, I would never recommend that you knowingly accept something without knowing what you're accepting. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying to try to get control of that sort of situation and to try to get, the standards up to your standards. Streets and roads that are public streets and roads are another story. Those have legal standards that they need to meet.
They
But
did
your
that.
parking lot really doesn't. I mean,
But if this is that's just one. They did the streets two months ago,
yeah.
right? And so we're saying we had the same conversation on a main street that they did the same thing. Now, again, it's great. It's a great gesture. We want it. We just want the MOU to happen, and for us to acknowledge the right way to make sure that the standard of whatever they put is, whether it's hot mix or whatever it needed to be. That's all.
Can we even have an MOU like that with a private developer? I mean, there's some
Well,
conflict.
you wouldn't have an interlocal agreement because that's only with other jurisdictions, other governmental entities. You can have an agreement with someone to donate something if they're gonna do it up to certain standards, sure. But you would need to,
Because it sounds like that's what,
Hey, I got a question. We got cameras here, right?
I'm sorry?
We have cameras on our building outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, you really don't know who did that?
You're not gonna see it, but Mystical Powers, man.
Talking about the
That's it though. Like, Mr. Mayor, you really don't know who did that?
no, I wasn't here when it was done, so no, I don't know. So can you help us get a draft of policy with the gift things so that these types of things or whatever can be covered?
So what are we gonna do to rectify? So this was a agenda item that again was brought up, Mr. Leverett, can we, I don't know if he put on to talk about the issue or.
No, it didn't.
Can I speak on
Can you do it in 3 minutes?
it? Do what?
In 3 minutes.
I can have 3 minutes?
Not to exceed 3 minutes, Mr.
Can
Leverett.
you do it in 3 minutes?
I can do it in less than 3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then please, come on up. That's even better.
Come on, okay, dude.
Okay.
The only thing I said to the council, that as I heard you, accept the dogs, it was on the agenda, right?
Mhm.
Okay. You went through all of the due diligence to talk about the insurance, correct? You talked about who gave the dog, and you had it in 2 council meetings. I asked the question, if you accepted that gift, why didn't you, Mr. Mayor, accept the gift of the parking lot?
Because I didn't accept the gift, so that's the easy answer to your question.
Pardon? Say it again?
I don't have to say it, you heard me the first time, are you done?
No, I'm not, I'm waiting for you to give me the answer since
Are
you
you
gave it.
done, Mr. Leverett?
No, I'm not done.
You're not here to question me, are you done?
I can question you.
Yeah, you can question, I just don't have to answer.
Citizens' comments.
Okay,
You know, well, anyway,
May I make
yeah,
a
you gave me the answer, sir.
anything else on
May I
item
make a
14?
comment on that, please?
On
That
item
was my,
14?
that was my,
Yes.
that was my.
Okay, please, you have max 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Let me say this, I have done some investigation into historically how some ways that streets have been paved in the city of Prairie View. And I found out, one thing that I found out that you might be interested in, historically, private developers have paved roads in Prairie View. For example, when Mayor Ron Leverett when Ron Levitt was mayor. The street that the fire station is on was paved by a private developer. And what I understand is, the private developer, I need you to be quiet while I'm
Mr.
talking.
Leverett, Mr.
I need you
Leverett,
to be quiet while I'm
Mr.
talking.
Leverett,
No,
you do
Oh,
not
you're the lead.
interfere with.
I am leaving.
Goodbye.
You lied.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth, that's why you
Dr.
leave.
Brown.
No,
That's why you
I
leave.
leave because I can leave.
And when the private developer finished the road, since the private developer paid for the road, the private developer put their name on the road. And Ron Leverett got upset, from what I understand, it was told to me, and changed the name of the road to someone he wanted the road named after. So private developers historically have paved
So-
roads in the city.
So if I might, that's a very typical, something that private developers do, and then they dedicate it to the city in the plat.
Yes, it is, that's the process.
That's
I think our conversation for city council's conversation wasn't that private developers couldn't do this. The conversation was that if someone does it, city council needs to know about it. And as long as it's done with the standard that we accept, then we move forward.
Well, you just heard council say there is no standard for a private driveway. Council,
Alright, so I move, alright.
Well, can I just say something?
No, let's just move
hold
on.
on, go. We doing the 15?
I move that, yeah,
Gifts?
yeah.
Discuss and take action on gifts that the city receives from third-party entities. Councilman Jones, you requesting
Same
policy?
thing, policy, yes, so I
Okay.
present policy next.
Okay. Item 16, discuss and take action on ordinance for the city newsletter. Councilman Jones.
So I would like for it to be a resolution, so I got a couple questions for you, Mayor, so we can help, this resolution. What day do you usually, print the newsletter?
Usually about the first week of the month, based on basically when bills are done and stuff.
Alright, first week of the month?
Yeah.
And then, so it would be for council to submit, what they would like to include in the newsletter the last week of the month. for the
That would be
previous
good.
month.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I move that, we discuss and take action on a resolution, for the city newsletter, next meeting.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Take action on the resolution for the city newsletter at the next meeting. Yeah, that was fine?
Yes.
Okay. You've heard the motion, ready for the question? All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. 17, discuss and take action on illegal dumping ordinance. Councilman Jones.
I would like to move item number 17 to the next meeting.
Next one.
Amen.
Okay, so we're carrying that over, Ms. Bynum? Yes. 17. Okay, council reports.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Second. That's funny, you are staying to my.